Couldn't look away from the train wreck. You have to blame it on the tech for the disrespect. Before you play, you better button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful day, the last day of the month. The weekend is still here, so we still done made it. It is rainy as hell up in some Texas. Either way, it's not raining in the Button Check, baby. It's nothing but sunny days. Corny as hell. Either way, you can see nothing has changed. What I'm trying to say is, chapters down below, sub button, all that good stuff. We got 2 videos today because it's the last day of the month, so we're going to end it off really strong. Without further ado, let's get this one started. Let's go. All right, first set of the MenaRD is really him receiving an award from his own country for playing some video games, buttons that need to be checked. This is a dope story. I was tagged in it a few times. Appreciate the love, y'all. So apparently, you know, Mena has been representing the DR since day one. I don't think I've ever seen a player that has put his people on his back, on his chest, on his forehead, wherever you want to put it. I don't think I've ever seen a player represent where they're from like I have with Mena. Right here, starting with Mena, he posted this saying, the Pride of Dominican Culture Award. What a birthday gift. So this just happened on his birthday. Check out the award, y'all. The Pride of the Dominican Republic Award for his accolades in Street Fighter. Well, FGC and just all around, right? Others are congratulating him, saying happy birthday, because he also turned, 26 on this same day. What a birthday gift. Continuing on, I believe Dexerto actually did an what the hell is an argue? They did an article about this, saying MenaRD has also spent a ton of his tournament winnings building up the fighting game community in the DR. He invested in safe, reliable places for people to practice and paid for other players to travel and compete. Now, going deeper with the article, link down below as well, it says after winning the 250K from Capcom back in 2017, he created a new place for them to play, sponsored other competitors' trips to the tournaments around the globe, and even started his own esports team, the Santo Domingo Tigers. I didn't know that. I didn't know he started his own esports team. I wonder if they're still going strong. Anyway, MenaRD credits his community for Street Fighter success. Mena is now a household name in the Dominican Republic, thanks to him for his positive impact in the country. Presented him with the Pride of Dominican Culture Award on August 28th, the same day as his 26th birthday. In an interview on the red carpet, Mena spoke about what it was like being recognized for such an achievement and what the award meant to him. He said, in a crazy way, starting this gaming journey and experiencing what I'm experiencing right now, having so much success, that's what it is. That's what one works for and what the community wants me to do. Then he posted this saying, I can only be grateful to many more. The birthday boy receiving the award. That's what's up. Boy, I gotta tell you what. If you are a Mena hater, you must have to work overtime. I mean, if you want to hate this man, you gotta be on a super duper level. I mean, your hating abilities must be off the charts, because you need to really be reaching to hate some Mena. Like, let's be real. Like, I get that we all have our favorites in the FGC. Some of them, you know, are annoying to us. Some of them we root for. And some of them we just simply don't like for whatever reason. Mena, though, man, let me be real with it. When Mena first came on the scene, I didn't know who he was. Hell, when he won Capcom for the first time, I was mad. I've told this story multiple times with Dirty Low, because I didn't know who this kid was. And I wanted my people to win, or whoever I was rooting for at the time. So, of course, I'm like, who's this guy? He just came out of nowhere and won? This is some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting my hating on back in the day. But over time, I was like, wow, this guy does pretty much, I mean, I love anything I usually look for in a player, that I admire in a player. You're talking about hype, you're talking about performance, consistency, just being respectful all around, and loving to talk that shit. Mena does. Mena's been doing it. So that's why I say, if you don't like Mena, it's hard for me to see why. It really is. Because there's some people, let's be real, there's some people in the FGC or players where you can be like, I can kind of see it. Even if I like them. Even if I like them, I can be like, I can see why people have a problem with them. And that's just real talk. But with Mena, I really can't. And every time he's won anything, it's always like a motivational speech. He's always getting like his Tony Robbins on, you know what I'm saying? Anytime he wins anything, he's just giving like positive words. And the fact that he went back to his country and invested so much of his money, like I said, if you're gonna hate this man, you are talented. That's just me. That's just me. Let me know in the comments if I'm missing something, because some of you might be, nah, Nesto, yada, yada, yada. Hey, once again, that's just me. So either way, that just happened. How y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, next up for them. Why does the FGC insist on being hypocrites about the EWC? Because technically, we are the EWC buttons that need to be checked. This one is a deep one. Now, it started off pretty simple from a couple of posts, but the more I got into it, the more I thought about it, the more I researched it, I was like, damn, we really are some damn hypocrites right now in the FGC in more ways than one. Y'all be the judge. Let's unpack. Let's go. Right here starting, there's an esports team by the name of Navi, right? They say Navi disbands their Tekken roster. They say our Tekken 8 chapter pauses here. Huge thanks. And they tag some of the players because the EWC is over, right? At least this year. So that's simple enough post, right? But then others are like, tell me again how the EWC is helping the FGC in the long term, question mark? And they're responding because they're like, yo, they already let go of the players. This has over 1,000 likes. I was like, damn. That many people feeling that? But others respond saying, how is what an org chooses to do a reflection on the EWC? And also, huge visibility for the game and players in the general esports world, contracts with major heavy structures, motivational buff, overall participation buff to get qualified, which is helping a lot. Spag enters right here saying, our players have had tier 1 sponsors pick them up, and the ones you've quoted had multi-year contracts and others are currently still signed. Everybody gets a chance to qualify and play for life-changing money. To deny the EWC has helped the FGC is to deny reality. Others are like, EWC probably the best thing to happen to pro players or players, to be honest. The money opportunities and even being able to pivot into content creation or something after the fact are great opportunities. Spag says again, it's crazy how people are always coming after the EWC. Even according to the players themselves, it's the thing that got them their sponsors and motivation to play. They're the same people that want 0 events in the Middle East. Others are saying, esports team, thank you for playing with us. Esports player, thank you for helping me travel the world. Twitter, esports team suck. Others are like, check this out. The EWC provides a whole list of pros and cons. I think the more important takeaway is that the EWC is probably providing a net benefit, but it shouldn't exist in its own tier. A world where it significantly outcompetes things like the TWT is unhealthy for the ecosystem. But the GOAT Ryan Hart responds saying, cons for who though? I see no cons for aspiring pro players. Pause right there. Okay, real quick, because I thought that was an interesting remark. They said there's pros and cons. So obviously there's a big net benefit, I guess financial, but it shouldn't exist in its own tier. They said in a world where it significantly outperforms things like the TWT, the Tekken World Tour, it is unhealthy for the ecosystem. My initial thought, and Ryan Hart responded to that saying, I don't see any cons, I just see pros for, pro players or up and coming players. My initial thought, let me know if I'm off with this or how you guys feel. But I'm like, if it's outperforming the TWT, it's the Tekken World Tour, right? Tekken World Tour, it's been in for years. If it just came in, EWC is just like 2 years old with us, isn't it? Something like that? I don't know. Something like that. And it's already outperforming the TWT. And you're saying it shouldn't exist in a tier of its own, meaning it's so big already and it's so dominant already, that's not good for the ecosystem. To me, why is that at fault or the problem of the EWC? Why should the EWC get knocked for being as big as they possibly can? The TWT has received so much backlash throughout the years for the lack of pay. I remember I did a sketch about it a couple of years ago. Didn't the winner get like $8,000 or some bullshit like that? And then they kind of slowly started increasing it just a little bit, not a lot. But, what I'm trying to say is at the end of the day, the pro players are the ones like competing and begging for opportunities like this. Then you got the EWC that comes out of the woods, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. I didn't see it on the radar, but now it's here. And obviously, like some people are saying, there's some pros and cons. But to say that, it shouldn't be bigger than this or it shouldn't be bigger than that, can we really knock them for that? One could argue that us in the FGC shouldn't have been as small as it was for that long. Now, I know that people or companies can only do what they can do at the end of the day. I'm not the accountant. I'm not the one that does the financials. All I'm saying is it's been a lack of money for a long damn time. Continuing on, saying the Middle East is a major reason why we even have fighting games back in the spotlight again. How you feeling about that comment, man? Others adding as well, right here, saying so funny when they cover it up as moral stance while being American and supporting American events like they're the beacon of morality. But somebody beneath that says American events aren't funded by the American government, which is the point, right? We'll unpack that too in a second here, because I don't think we understand that. Is it Quidea? Is that how you say their name? They're fully involved, right, with us. Like right here, Quidea is not a gaming company, but rather a large-scale Saudi entertainment and tourism project that includes a dedicated gaming and esports district. The overall owner of Quidea is the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, the PIF. While no single person owns it, several individuals, key leaders, are in the gaming division. I'll put it on the screen. You see Mike, you see Abdullah, down below, Prince Mohammed bin Salman, if I'm saying that correctly, as the head of the PIF, the chairman. He is the Prince of Saudi Arabia. The Prince. This is the same man that is over there that some people, I'm not saying many, but I'm saying some people in the FGC have a problem with. But check this out. The CPT also partners with the EWC. Capcom announced a 3-year partnership with the Esports World Cup Foundation starting this year. This means the Capcom Pro Tour is integrated into the larger EWC ecosystem and indirectly connects with the Capcom Pro Tour. Because of the EWC partnership, CPT events now act as qualifiers for the Esports World Cup, and the winner of the EWC automatically qualifies for Cap Cup. So vice versa. On top of that, did we forget EVO is part of it as well? Yes, Quidea is a major sponsor and partner of EVO, a premier fighting game tournament. We know what it is. They became a global partner last year and extended the partnership through 2027. In addition, investing in RTS, the co-owner and operator of EVO, to support the event's international expansion and development. So what I'm saying is, if we're really going to start virtue signaling, if we're going to start seeing tweets like this, how do we not understand that we are EWC? We are Quidea. Like, we are in bed with this. We are one in the same, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. Matter of fact, I only see one player, which I believe was ChrisCCH, that came to this realization, and he was like, yo, I don't think I could have a career anymore. He posted this just a few months ago. Like, what was it? Yeah, this year, just a few months ago, where he was like, if I'm going to be about it, I might not be able to mess with the FGC, not on the level that I want to, because I understand that we are one and the same. There's no separation really anymore from the EWC and the FGC. You're talking about CPT, you're talking about EVO, all right? They all connect right here. ChrisCCH posted this saying, I will not be attending the EWC. And then he points out, I previously declined to participate in Gamers 8, which was first the version of EWC. And I did not participate in any of the EWC qualifiers of last year. I plan to do the same this year, but with the new CPT EWC partnership, choosing not to participate in any EWC qualifiers would effectively mean retirement from competing. I find it regrettable that this event has become so deeply embedded in the FGC, but I have not yet made a decision. Then others underneath are congratulating him, right? Shout outs and respect. You're unbelievable. Much respect, which is cool, right? Cool thing. But a lot of the people responding to him that believe in what he's doing are still commentating or still participating in EVO, in the CPT. And once again, we saw how this all trails together. It all ties together. So we could all day be on Twitter, social media, and say, forget Saudi or forget EWC and this and that. But we are one in the same. Their money is just going to keep growing. Now, one could say, well, the contract's only going to 2027. You don't think it's going to extend? You don't think they have unlimited amount of money? They're 1-1 now, or, big sponsor, huge sponsor with CPT. CPT qualifies EWC, EWC qualifies CPT, and EVO. The biggest thing we have. And now we have 4 EVOs this year. It's only getting bigger. So my thing is, although I might not necessarily agree with ChrisCCH's standpoint, I respect the shit out of this young man because he's the only one I see standing on 10 toes. He's the only one where I'm like, yo, here's the realization. I initially turned down Saudi. I initially turned down Gamers8/EWC. But I'm smart enough to know that we're all in bed together now. Like, they sponsor damn near everything that we do, the biggest things that we have. So if I'm really about it, shit, that means retirement. I'm a young ass dude. I love to play the game. This is my livelihood. But if I really stand on my beliefs, unless things change, that's retirement. And he is the only one. Now, I'm not saying it hasn't been done. I'm just saying he's the only one that I've seen post a statement like that. And while I've seen him get praised, I ain't seen any other statements like that. I just see people going to Evo. People are looking at sponsorship like, oh, these companies suck. They're only coming and using us for temporary contracts, and they dump us and just rinse and repeat. But from the player standpoint, which you can read as well, and what I've picked up is like, but if they didn't do it, we never would have got the opportunity because literally nobody else is doing it. This is not back in 2017, 2018, 19. This is 2025. Our options are limited. Things are different. It is constantly changing here in esports, in the world that we live in right now. So if these guys weren't doing it, even if they do it just for the EWC or a few months or half a year, at least that's an opportunity that I never would have got before. And that's why you see a lot of these players thankful. And like, I hope y'all do it again. Pick me up again next year. Or let's rock with it again. Maybe I can win next time. Rather than, how are they helping us? And this is bullshit. These esports, they just come and use us. I get that. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm sounding like I'm on one particular side of the fence right now. But don't get me wrong. I get where that comes from. Because even in the beginning, I thought that. And I was like, esports. But if we're just talking about fucking reality right now, the reality is this is probably the best options that our players have, and it looks like they're actually appreciating it, and they want to keep doing it for as long as they can because this is the best shot that they have right now. So in saying that, let me know if you disagree or agree with that, if I'm missing a point there. And long story longer, once again, man, I get into these damn rants. I need Rick here for some of this stuff. Long story longer, I only say this to say I still don't fully know what exactly the EWC is about. Meaning, I don't know when it's all said and done, if we're gonna look back and say, man, that was we were hoodwinked. You know what I'm saying? They got us. That was some bullshit. Or if we're gonna look back and say, it's still here. And it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to us. I don't know yet. It's still early to tell. But I can tell you that a lot of the players have went, and that what I'm learning so far, that basically there's a lot more to this thing that I had no idea of, and a lot of people seem to be happy that it's here. But that's what's happening right now. How y'all feeling? Let me know. That was it, Butt Check family. Definitely let me know how you are feeling. This was a hot one, man. This is probably a lot longer than I planned it to be. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll do my best to post a second video later today. I don't know what it is. Ooh, I'm exhausted. But as always, I know it's about to get better. Love y'all, fam. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.